Right. Good morning again, and welcome back to the discussion session. It is 9 a.m. Eastern now, and let's get started off the session 2 on support and resistance. Right. For those who are joining fresh, we would like to quickly revise everything. What we've done till now is we've discussed seven trading signals. 6 plus 1, I would say 6 plus 1 trading signals, and yesterday we discussed support and resistance. These are the sessions which I really love the most, because it refreshes everything for me as well. I mean, it's been a long time that I've been discussing these sessions online. It's always been the Elliott wave model since 2015, but it's going to be fun. It's going to be refreshing for us all. Okay, so let's touch base with the practical aspects of support and resistance. Before we begin this session, a small announcement: we will keep will bring a pause to the discussion sessions tomorrow, and because we won't be able to complete the trend part tomorrow, and I don't want to give a gap of 3 days or 2 days, whatever, Saturday, Sunday, and I don't know if January 1st is working or not. But we will continue our discussion sessions from 1st of January 2018 around these times. All right. So please keep note of that. Tomorrow we might bring a rest day, and we will start from Monday, January 1st, 2017, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard, for this educational discussion sessions. All right. What we have done until now is a quick revision. In this session, can you please identify support and or resistances here? And then after this quick revision, I would like to do three case studies, three charts on a daily chart. We want to do three instruments where we will want to identify clearly the supports and resistances. Believe it or not, these are very simple format that I've tried to display here, but if you're following this format, definitely with some difficulty, maybe you will always follow what the candlesticks are telling you a story. If there is a problem here, then there's it's going to be a big problem there. All right. It's very simple question that I've asked. If you could identify support and or resistances over here. And as I said, these topics are going to be seem very simple, and sometimes it would be stupid of me to ask some questions, but kindly bear with me for a few hours before we put them all together. Two more sessions to go, and I think we'll be on track to the analysis part. Two stories, brothers and sisters. First, signals, and the second, support and resistance. Quite a bit can be derived only by knowing these two topics. Alright, let's do it together. The first thing is it is a rising market. So when you have a rising market in front of you on your charts, normally you would want to focus on your supports and not resistances. Okay, so let's identify supports here. Now, the one thing that I did not discuss yesterday is the practical way to identify supports, where you will not commit any error even if you want to. All right, it's a practical way to determine your supports and resistances. Is the supports in this case is catch the highest point of the rising market. All right, I repeat, sir, catch the highest point. This is the practical way how you would want to find out the supports. Find out the highest point of the rising market, which is here, and then run your eyes inclined behind, backwards. Inclined backwards, all right, and then stop at every low. That would be your supports. Support 1, support 2, support 3. Please remember, these are the steps, only 2 steps. Find out the highest point of the rising market, and then go back, incline lower at each low. Please plot S1, and then don't go like this. Don't look on the opposite side. Inclined lower. So you need to go here. That's another low. Don't go there. That is a low, but it's not a support. All right. It is a low, but it's not a support on this chart anymore. And then again incline low S3 and one more S4. Okay. All right. If you follow this technique, what will happen is, let's say if you're randomly plotting S1 or support, and then you might consider this point as well as a strong support, which is not a support, it is a potential support. Why? Because the markets have not made a new high beyond the previous high. All right. So to cut this possible error that you may commit, or one may commit, it is very simple to catch the highest point and go left on the back side, so that there's no question of this disturbance. Right, this noise will not disturb you. All right, okay. And on the other side, if you want to find out resistances, then this is the practical method to do so. Or you all know what the definition of how to find out the resistance points already, but a practical way to do is to catch the lowest point of the falling market and then run your eyes inclined up in this manner. Run your eyes inclined up and then stop at every high. This one, that one, and this one, and another one. Those are your resistances. R1, R2, R3 and R4. Alright. If you plot here as a resistance, then technically it is not a resistance, it is a potential resistance, would become an actual resistance when markets drop lower and form a new low. See, why we need to know supports and resistances, because when we are trading or when we are placing an order, there are three things: the entry, stop loss, and exit, or the target, the take profit. All right. Now, knowing supports and resistances will play a great role in helping you out where to place your stop loss. All right. Okay. Another, since we are revising both sessions, another point which you would want to understand, or you should remember actually, at every point, every support, you are going to find what, and at every resistance, you will find what. I guess you remember. At every support, you will find one of the trading signals, not out of 6 but out of 3. And since we are doing it all for the sake of revision, I don't know if you are watching videos, because these are all stored in the playlist. You can always come back and watch it. I haven't received any email yet, so it's all fine, or nothing is fine. Okay, so support, it would be a morning star. At every support, it would be either a morning star or a tweezer bottom, or an engulfing bullish. As I said, this initial discussion is the basic 4 pillars. So it's going to be like most of you know all these things. Most of you know more than I know, but the question is, knowing more is not enough. Knowing exactly what is required is enough. I mean, 6 patterns, and there are 95 patterns. I mean, 95 trade patterns and trade signals which are documented. I mean, you don't need to remember those 95 or 96 trade patterns to make money or to help you make money. That is just a piece of information. It's fine as a general knowledge. I mean, but the actionable patterns are only 7. And on the resistance side, you will see evening stars. Invariably, you will see one of these patterns, either on any of the time frames. I mean, if you're not seeing on a daily chart, you might want to. And I'm going to show it to you right now. So don't believe my words right now. You may not trust my words, but at least when you see, you will believe it, right? Now, when it comes to this point, I always ask a question: whether seeing is believing, or believing is seeing. You start enjoying life. That's what I'm feeling when you have nothing to lose. I'm at that stage of my life. So I am really enjoying my life here. Believing is seeing, actually, brothers and sisters. Most of the physical world believes that seeing is believing, but the actual truth is believing is seeing. We'll come back some other time about this topic. All right, sir. Let's. Did you see Euro USD? I mean, today morning we got out of it, losing almost 50 points. If we did not, I mean, we were losing almost 100 plus here and 50 plus in the dollar index. Gold is a nut which stopped us out twice, but that is fine. I mean, it happens. Can we find out or identify uh, supports and or resistances, please, on this chart? Maybe a pause of at least 1 minute or more if you want. That's fine. I don't have a live chat here, but we will soon have one. I mean, there are some limitations on a new channel, I think, but it will soon go. It becomes sometimes difficult when you're not interacting, but I'm used to it. At least you can write an email to me wherever you are not agreeing or anything which of course you are not following. Most of them not following is not a question, but you may not agree with me. We are all learning actually. I don't think that I'm doing exceptionally well, but it's a good exercise for me as well to learn everything back. Supports and resistances, please. I think we just discussed 2 minutes back the practical aspect, how to find out supports and resistances. Please look at the overall chart. Don't look at a specific area. The overall chart means it begins from a meaningful bottom here and it goes to a meaningful top there and the rest of the chart as well. Alright, now it is upon us to simplify a chart. Nobody will draw lines or trend lines unless you're putting your oscillators and moving averages and all those things. We are not going to discuss anything of that. I don't know that. We are just going to focus on hardcore chart analysis. So it's very important for us to simplify the chart the way it is being presented to us. If I change the view, your perception will change. So technical analysis is more of a perceptive view than just one truth. Okay, but for now on this particular chart, let's find out and identify potential support and or resistances. Now to confuse, I always use this resistances term, but it should be very clear by now that it's a rising market. So we are not focusing on the resistances part. Let's identify the supports. First things first, simply if you follow the rules and don't never start from random places that you may commit errors. Top of the rising market is 1.2092. All right. Now we are going to find out supports and resistances, and then let's see how it goes. Okay. I may be wrong, or both of our answers may differ. If it's quite possible that I'm looking at major supports, you are looking at small supports and intermediate supports as well, or vice versa. So please don't stick to one thing. Understand the logic. Let's understand the logic. Highest point here, I'm going to incline my eyesight lower on the left hand side and stop at each particular low first. I'm going to mark them up. First low I see here is this one, then another one over here, and then I'm not going up. Don't go inclined up. It's always inclined lower. So I stop at this low. Okay. There was a low here as well, but both of them were very close. So whenever you see two instances like this, you go with this lower one when you're finding supports. Alright, then again two almost at the same level, so there's no point. You may pick up any one, that is another one, and incline low, another one. This one is not correct. Let's pick up the lower one, so I'm going to remove that. And finally, the first one, having marked up now let's look properly at the chart right now. We have to use something which the market has made on the there is some price action on the right hand side as well with respect to the entire chart. Okay, we are not just looking on the right hand side right now. With respect to the overall chart, what is your analytical mind saying? We want to start plotting the supports now. What does your analytical mind say? Should I start with this point as S1, that is 1.1816, or that one, or these two are not valid right now? What is your perception? What is the truth? If you look at the price action on the right hand side, it is quite clear that both the marked supports at 1816 and 1655, they have been broken already by the bears. Alright, so it doesn't make any sense for us to plot these points as supports. Okay, if you are looking at plotting supports, you will start from point number 3, and if you're looking at a major support, start at point number 4. But whatever you do, they both are absolutely correct. I mean, there's not much difference. So S1, S2, 3, 4 and 5. These are necessary for us because, as I said, if you would like to know the story here, I mean, see, prices dropped lower and broke that support at this point, this one. Then they took a break. Do you see that? The analogy that we were talking yesterday. Then almost 1658 was also broken here, and then a break. So first support breaks here, almost just a few points left, that is okay, and then a break. Second support breaks right here, and then a pullback. Okay, did you see that? So the importance of finding out correct supports and resistances is that, let's say if I hypothetically draw a line starting and break this support and that support as well, as a trading point of view, what would you say? If you were short here, it is better to take your profits just ahead of that support, right? Because bears are after breaking that support, and then they will pull back up to some extent. There are ways to find out where this pullback is going to go and stop. I mean, that's one of the most trickiest part, right? And after the pullback, you know that you need to enter now. So when you enter, what would be your next logical target? S3, right, sir? Do you understand, brothers and sisters? We are not talking anything much about technicals here. We are just simply talking about the game and the rules of the game, and how would you like to play that game is the next topic. which we will begin from the 1st of January. All right, we are not discussing trends. We don't know trends. We don't know trend lines right now. We are just playing around two things: support and resistance. Point number one, and the signals. Did you identify signals here? Let me take the lines of the chart. Did you identify signals here? So that is a dropping market, small segment, okay? Support breaks and then a pullback. What happens after a pullback? Did you see a signal here, bearish engulfing bearish? That has to be sold. Okay. Did you see an engulfing bearish here as well, a practical engulfing bearish here as well? That has to be sold. Okay, just giving you some idea. We are slowly going towards the trading point of view. All right, so at least you know that, okay, after a break, just after a support or resistance is taken off, just have a break, and after the break is over, according to the trend that you're trying to play, just identify signals. Now, can you run your eyes, please, through all these points: S1, S2, S3, S4, S5? Do you please do you find actionable signals that we have discussed in the past sessions? Either a morning star or a tweezer bottom or an engulfing bullish, please. I hope and believe that the answer would be yes, right? If you still not recognize, let me help you. This is a morning star. That was a bit difficult signal to understand, but three indecisive candles and after that a morning star formed here. That was a classic morning star, two bearish and one bullish. Again a morning star, a heap of morning stars. That was an engulfing bullish. You can put that into engulfing bullish category. This one is also an engulfing bullish category. Now at every support you invariably found out a bullish signal, right? Exactly the opposite. Let's take another case. Dropping market. Can you quickly identify resistances? I'm not writing up down, I'm simply marking up. The lowest point is at 91, inclined up. So my markup would have been this one and that one, but they have been already broken. You see on the right hand side, so no point in marking them up right now. Let's begin from here. R1, R2, R3, R4, R5, and R6. Is that okay? And at every resistance, can you please identify a bearish signal? Is it not simple and logical to understand? I mean, it's going to be so simple when we finish the next two sessions. You'll start enjoying analysis and you'll start having fun. And it will be done on your own. That's the best part. Not depending on anybody. All right, that's the best part. Can you please identify evening star? Mostly an engulfing bearish. Evening star, engulfing bearish, Is that okay? So now seeing is believing, brothers and sisters. Okay, so that's about the two stories that we've discussed till now. The chart patterns, 7 of them. Pin bar. Can you identify a pin bar here? Just a pin bar. You see that wick on the north side and markets dropping after that. That was a pin bar. All right, so two stories having been discussed: the signals and supports and resistances. We will now continue with the third story, that is uh, how to play the game. That is how do you trade this chart now. We are getting very close to that. Two more sessions, and I promise 85% of the understanding would be clear as how any market would move. All right. So trend part, but we'll begin the trends from January 1st. A break in between will not serve the purpose. All right. So let's bring this session to a pause right now. And as always, I thank you for your time being online here, and whether you're watching in an offline state or not. If you're liking these videos, please press the like button. If you're not yet subscribed, please do subscribe. I'm finding out ways to communicate with you, and if possible, register yourself so that I can send notifications in future whenever I want to. All right. Don't forget to spread words, brothers. That this is what is making a huge difference. All right. Thank you so much again, and until the next session, which is we'll be doing the live sessions tomorrow as regular, unless except the educational session. All right. Till that time, please take care and God bless, and good luck to your trades, and relax for these 2 3 days. I mean, don't rush after the markets if possible. See you soon, brothers and sisters. Take care. Bye bye.